All right, if you are on YouTube live right now, we appreciate you working with us here for just a moment. We will be going live here in just a second for 3rd&1, and we're getting everything else up and going on the radio side. And I really appreciate everyone tuning in on YouTube live right now. Appreciate that very, very much. We will get going here in, like I said, just a second.
City Life Community Church is the proud home of Crossover Radio. We are located at 6634 Northwest 36th Street, right here in the heart of Bethany. You can join us for worship at 11 a.m. each Sunday, and if you can't make it, you can hear us right here on Crossover Radio. You can also join us for worship and prayer each Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. City Life exists to glorify God by making disciples and doing good in Jesus' name. We are here for Bethany and for the Northwest Oklahoma City communities. We're excited about the opportunity to serve you and your family.
Would your business, organization, or ministry like to connect with our listeners? Crossover Radio is seeking amazing like-minded partnerships to impact our community. Crossover Radio has cheap and affordable sponsorship packages available now. Call us at 405-494-0234 so we can help connect you with thousands of listeners every week right here on Crossover Radio. Again, that number is 405-494-0234. Call us today.
Tired of taking up a seat in church or just watching a production? Join us Sunday at West Metro Community Church in Yukon, a place where your life matters and you are more than a number.
We are located at 601 West Main Street in Yukon, and our worship service is at 10:45 on Sunday. For additional information on our student ministry, men's, women's, and mixed small group Bible studies throughout the week, find our information at www.westmetro.org.
Come be a part of a church where all are welcome.
Crossover Radio, radio with a purpose.
This is 3rd&1 live on your Monday morning drive. So good to be with you this morning. Thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate your time, and man, it is a great Monday morning, and glad to be with you all. Hope your weekends were great. Man, I mean, had a wonderful service on Sunday. I mean, we love our church. It is fantastic. But man, had a wonderful service, and got to have a lot of fun throughout the day as well, being with the family, and was able to take my boy to a fall festival. So I and the wife went with took our son to a fall festival at a particular church that I've been connected with for a long time. And so it was a blast. He had fun. He got to see a fire truck, which is one of his favorite things to do. So yeah, good times had by all the way around, and got to see my family and all that stuff. But you know what? Last night, I also got to watch some incredible baseball. And I mean incredible baseball. Amazing. Some of the best clutch hitting is going on in this series. So many clutch hitters. So many. I can't even count. Normally you're like, okay, this dude's a clutch hitter. But these teams are clutch hitters. It is unreal what these two teams are doing in the World Series. If you have not been watching any of the World Series, but you have some mild interest in baseball, you're missing some of the best baseball you can watch. Now, if you're a pitching kind of guy, if you're like, hey, I really like a good pitching battle, you get some of that, but I'm just saying these guys are just owning these pitchers. which is weird because we have great pitching. And I mean great pitching. But the hitting is just out of this world right now. And literally, it's out of the park right now. So many clutch home runs, it is ridiculous. I mean, absolutely ridiculous. So, it has been an incredible World Series up to this point. The Astros took it. They're up 3-2. They took it in extra innings, which, by the way, is not the first extra innings baseball game in this World Series. Yeah, it's been amazing. And again, if you haven't watched any of it and you have just a mild interest, I mean a mild interest in baseball, you need to. You need to. Flat out. You need to. So, anyways, I'm just going to say that. Just going to say that. If you're not watching baseball, you haven't looked at the World Series, you need to go check it out. Just watch some highlights, okay? There are so many highlights to watch from last night's game alone. It is unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. The kind of baseball that we're getting right now. I'm hoping maybe I can coax the coach, Jeremy Coleman, to jump on with me this morning and just get his gut feeling reaction to what happened last night. Because I can't remember a series ever in my lifetime, which is not super long, and I get that. But I can't remember a World Series in my lifetime that has had so many clutch hits over and over and over by both teams. It's not like one team is just dominating the clutch hitting. No, it's just both teams all the time. And you just feel like... So here's the interesting thing. Last night, Dodgers were down. They were down 12... I believe it was 12-9 in the top of the ninth. And then they get a man on base. They already have one out, but that's it, just one out. And Yasiel Puig steps up to the plate. Boom, two-run home run. Okay, here we go, 12-11. And then you're just thinking, is this really going to happen? Are they really going to come back again? And then you have, oh my goodness, I believe it was Andre Ethier step up to the plate. There was already a man on third, I want to say. Anyways, irrelevant. But Ethier steps up, cranks a hit into an open spot, and man, they tie it in the ninth. And then you're just going, man, no way. I mean, they had to. If they wouldn't have come out of that inning, just for all those who are like, okay, so, I mean, he scored at the top of the ninth. So what? Oh, because they're the visiting team. They were down. They would have been done. Now, unfortunately for the Dodgers, the Astros had the last laugh. So, they had the last laugh. But it's okay. It was a blast. It was an absolute blast. I don't know if there's anything more to say about what happened last night. I mean, there's tons to talk about. But what more can you say with regards to what happened last night? I just don't think there's really much you can say. It was an incredible evening of baseball. So anyways, there you have it. I'm only being just a little animated. I understand that. It was so good, though, that you just can't. You just can't even. Just can't even. Man. All right. Got so many things going on this morning with the Thunder, with NCAA. There was a kind of a crazy, wild weekend in the NCAA. Not as crazy as the World Series, I will tell you that. But it was still pretty crazy. And then you also have some NFL stuff going on. More drama. I'm so tired of the NFL drama. Can I also just say that? I am so tired of all the NFL drama. It's like watching a soap opera. Now, I get there are some real issues to be had. I get that there are real things going on. But I just want everything to get to a point where we all say, hey, can't we just love one another? I mean, can't we just love one another? And can't we just call it and just say, hey, you know what? We're all just going to get along. But I know we're dealing with sinful human beings. I get that. That's the nature of this world right now. We're dealing with sinful human beings, and I am a part of that problem because I still struggle with sin, right? I think every Christian would say that, or a lot of Christians would say that. It's just kind of how it is. We're all dealing with sin on this side of heaven. But man, I really hope that they can just get things figured out. And I realize that the issues that are causing a lot of the NFL drama are bigger issues outside of the NFL. I get that. But I just want there to be. I guess, there's part of it. I do get tired of the drama, yes. But man, it would just be good. It'd be good if everything just calmed down. If everyone just loved each other as human beings, and some of them as brothers and sisters of Christ, in Christ. I just really hope we can get to that point. But I realize that until heaven, that's never going to be fully realized. Or until Jesus comes back. Let me put it that way. Excuse me. Anyways, yes, we are live right now on YouTube. On YouTube. We are on YouTube. That's right. Can I say it? Can I say it any more times than that? We are live on YouTube. And really enjoying all the different things we're going to get to do through this. And really appreciate everyone who is watching on YouTube right now, whether you're watching live or whether you're watching later on. Really appreciate all of your attention. And if you have any comments, throw them my way. I'd love to hear from you. You can actually comment live on the YouTube streaming video, and it is a really, really cool thing. I mean, really cool. There's a reason why we're switching over to YouTube Live. It is awesome. So you'll definitely want to come check it out because it is a really cool deal. All right, here's what we're going to do. I am going to roll to a break real quick. It will be approximately, in fact, exactly 1 minute, 44.81 seconds. And when we come back, we will talk what has happened with the Thunder in the past weekend. We'll also do a little bit of a Thunder preview this morning for tonight's game against the Milwaukee Bucks at the Milwaukee Bucks. And we'll go over all of that as well. So please stay tuned. We'll be right back after these short messages from our sponsors. 3rd&1 Live.
Hey, newly engaged couples, are you tired of the same ho-hum, boring wedding reception every weekend? Don't you want yours to be the party everyone's talking about 3 months later? Then give us a call today at BTP Productions.
We offer online planning forms, the best OKC DJs, lighting and sound packages, ceremony packages, and anytime consultations. We put you in total control of your party so you get your reception your way. Call us today at 405-609-9980. That's 405-609-9980. Or find us on Facebook. That's BTP Productions. The right music, the right DJ equals BTP Productions. Call today.
Crossover Radio is the best station I have ever listened to, even over other Christian stations. They are such a blessing. God uses this radio station that God started through the DJs and everyone on there to bless us and to show us Him.
Do you love coffee? Does your church, office, or business need coffee? What about getting amazing quality coffee at home from a business that serves our community and the world? Grounds for Compassion can meet your needs. The amazing staff at Grounds for Compassion would love to connect with you. There are 14 varieties, so you can't go wrong. Check out Grounds for Compassion on Facebook, Instagram, or at g4c.coffee, where you can place your order. Grounds for Compassion, coffee with conviction.
Crossover Radio. Radio with a purpose.
I wanna be refined, that means be burned alive. My life is filthy rags, gotta rock the Jesus swag. I wanna be refined, that means be burned alive. My life is filthy rags, gotta rock the Jesus swag. Gotta rock the Jesus swag, rock the Jesus swag, rock the Jesus swag, rock the Jesus swag. Let's rock that Jesus swag.
All right, this is 3rd and 1 live on your Monday morning drive. That's right, 3rd and 1 live on your Monday morning drive. If you're wondering, that is actually our very own Jaco on this track right now, dropping it. So if you didn't know, he can definitely rap. He is a definitely a hip hop artist. That's right. So you'll definitely want to check him out. If you've never heard his stuff, you'll want to try to get a hold of that. You can just actually text him during the show. Which, by the way, if you've never checked out his Lunch Rush with Coleman, you need to check that out. That is every day from 12 to 1. You can actually text him and say, "Hey, I heard you got some music." In fact, you need to tell him, say, "I heard on 3rd and 1 that you are a rapper and you have your own tracks." And I bet he can find a way to get you those tracks. I bet he can find a way. You'll definitely want to hit him up for that, though. It is good stuff. All right. Again, this is 3rd and 1 Live. We are so happy to be with you this morning, broadcasting live on YouTube Live. So much live right now. But we are on YouTube Live. If you are coming over from Facebook, because that's where we have been broadcasting our show. If you are coming over from Facebook, thank you so much for coming on over. If you are on the app, or if you just came over from Facebook, or if you're listening for the first time, you have no clue who I am or who the station is, you just happen to find us. We would appreciate if you would just drop us some comments. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you think about different sports things that happened this weekend, about the World Series Game 5 last night, and if you like it, if you don't like all the offense, what you thought about the NCAA Football weekend. A lot of things to talk about. If you love NBA, I personally love NBA. In fact, I think I love NBA more than any other sport. And I'm talking about even specifics. Like, I love it more than college basketball. I love it more than college football. I love it more than NFL, MLB, so on and so forth. I'm a huge NBA fan, and really love the sport of basketball. And so that's something that is a passion of mine. So if you love the NBA, send me some questions. Send me some of your thoughts about what's going on in the NBA. Say, hey, Evan, let's talk about XYZ. I don't care if it's a team that's not in this market. I love the Thunder. I'm a Thunder fan. But you can send me anything that you want about any team in the NBA. We'll talk about it right now. So for all you people who think that the Golden State Warriors are better than the Thunder, or think that the Cavs are better than the Thunder, bring it. We will talk about it. Bring it on. Bring it on. For all you people who think, oh, the Houston Rockets are going to be better than the Thunder, the Houston Rockets are not going to be better than the Thunder. By end of season, they will not be better. They will not be better. That's just my prediction. It's my thought. I really feel like Thunder are going to put it together. They have more firepower. They have more stars. They're just a better, more complete team. Tell me why I'm wrong. Tell me why I'm wrong. Can you? Can you please tell me why I'm wrong? Can anyone tell me why I'm wrong about this? I saw nothing but report after report after report. Oh, the Rockets are better. Oh, the Rockets are better. Oh, the Rockets. And then it was, oh, Rockets and Thunder are going to compete. Oh, the Rockets and Thunder are going to compete once they got Melo. Well, why? Why is that going to be a deal? I realize right now at this point in time the Rockets are faring better in the regular season. I get all that. I don't disagree with that. But what I'm saying is, by the end of the year, you really think that a team led by Chris Paul and James Harden and no other stars, and they lost quite a bit of their bench from last year just to acquire Chris Paul. An older Chris Paul who often gets hurt and has not been anywhere in the playoffs. Part of that, a lot of that, I realize is not his fault. But still has not been far in the playoffs. Did I say did not get to the playoffs? That's my bad. Still not far in the playoffs. So, and your magical season last year, Houston, which, by the way, you did have a really, really good season last year. And you beat up on the Thunder last year, overall. They were close games, but you know what? You won 4-1. That's good. I got no doubt. I got no problems talking about that. But that was a Russell Westbrook only team for the most part. You had Victor Oladipo, Robertson starting when there was no one else on the floor besides Oladipo and Westbrook who could score for the most part. Adams wasn't playing well. But I'm just saying, as far as personnel, though, let's just stick to personnel. The playing well, that's not on the Houston Rockets. That's on the Thunder. But personnel-wise, this is not even close to the same team. We got Tupat. We got Raymond Felton as a backup point guard, which, by the way, is the fourth leading scorer on the team. Last I saw. We were talking about that on Friday on this show. You got oh yeah, Carmelo Anthony. Oh, and Paul George. And you're going to tell me still that the Rockets are better? A better team, a more complete team? That is a team that if the three-point is off, they're going to have some issues. Now, Eric Gordon, good piece. Ryan Anderson, he's an okay piece for me. If you're saying, well, Evan, you take him if he was on your team. Maybe. But with the current team we have right now, we can accomplish a lot of that. And Ryan Anderson doesn't give you a lot outside of offense. Outside of his ability to stretch the floor, he does not give you a lot. So I'm not sure that I actually would. he would only play in sparing situations for the Thunder and what they like to do. He would play, but I don't think he would play super often. And then Capella, I mean, yeah, he's athletic. He's good. He's not great. I want a Houston Rockets fan, anyone, even if you're not a Houston Rockets fan, anyone to tell me why they think that the Houston Rockets are going to be better than the Thunder. Over the course of the entire season, into the playoffs, why do you think that the Rockets are going to be better than the Thunder? Because I don't get it. But that's just my thoughts. I think I've harped on this many times before on the show. I get it. I just want someone to tell me. All right, so let's talk about what the Thunder have done, though, this weekend. Okay, let's talk about what the Thunder have done. The Thunder have effectively... Sorry, just looking through here. Sorry about that. Got kind of a little bit lost in my thoughts and what I was doing. The Thunder have effectively kind of pulled back. They're going, if they're in this roller coaster right now. Can we just say that? They're in a roller coaster. And this roller coaster is so up and down. And against, I mean, if we're just going to be honest about it, the roller coaster right now is not just up and down. It is up and down against bad and good teams. And what I'm trying to say by that is it's up against bad teams. It is down against good teams. And that's not good. That's not good. They got to do better than that. They got to do better than that. If they don't, well, everyone's going to be sorely disappointed. But all that being said, I do think that they will do better. I do think that they will get back to a prominent status in the NBA. Can we also say that Carmelo Anthony is way better for this team than what I thought? At least right now, he is. I'm not sure, though. There are times where I'm concerned that his style of play actually negatively affects the Thunder and what they want to do and what they're able to do. I think it actually affects possibly Paul George. Now, George is going to say the right things and not say that, at least right now. But I think there is some concern there on my part. So anyways, that's just kind of my thoughts on that. The Thunder, they lost to the Timberwolves on, was that Friday night? Yeah. They lost to the Timberwolves on Friday night at the Wolves. It was another close game, lost by 4 points. I thought that they would win. Although I will say, and it's easy for me to say this now, I get it. I think something in my gut was just saying this is not likely. They're probably going to lose. The Thunder have 2 more games against the Wolves, though. It would not surprise me if they wind up winning the last 2 games against the Wolves. One is on December 1st. The next is in January something, maybe the 17th, 27th, if I remember right. Something like that. And it would not surprise me if they win the last 2. I'm talking about the Thunder winning the last 2 against the Wolves, which will be an important game. Those will be important games because the Wolves are going to push for the middle tier of the playoffs. And if the Thunder struggle for a while until they get clicking with each other, then there's going to be they're going to want to have at least a tie and need to go to a tiebreaker if they are competing with the Wolves for a particular playoff position. So that is something to keep an eye on for sure. They need to win those games. Wolves are a good team. I don't think they have the ability to be a great team at this point. They just don't feel like they're a great team. But I do think they are a good team, a really good team. They're probably in the top 10 easy in the NBA. Easy top 10 in the NBA. That's just my personal thought and opinion on it. You may or may not agree. Let me know if you don't agree, though. I'd love to hear your thoughts. I'd love to hear why you think you're right, so I can tell you why you're wrong. I'm just kidding. All right. Here's a couple other things, okay? Here are a couple of other things. I do not think, man, I think that the Thunder may have some struggles against the Bucks. You're playing a pretty established Bucks team that has played together for a little while. They have a lot of talent. They're looking to prove something. It's at the Bucks. The Thunder are still trying to figure things out. And I just feel like the Bucks are going to win this one. Now, we have a poll right now on our YouTube channel. Okay, we have a poll right now that's on the YouTube video where you can actually vote and tell us, hey, I think the Thunder will win by more than 5. I think they'll win by less than 5. I guess I should have worded that 5 or less. No, I said the Thunder will win by 5+. The Thunder will win by less than 5. The Thunder will lose by less than 5, or the Thunder will lose by 5+. I would like to hear your thoughts. I'd like for you to let me know. All you got to do is just go over to the poll real quick. It's on the video. Click it, vote, you're done. That's it. That's all you got to do. And I'd really love to know what you think about that. And I would love to kind of hear your thoughts just through the poll. So if you're like, I don't really want to type anything, that's fine. You just go and you click it. One button, click, and you're done. Speaking of one button, by the way, before we go to a break, if you are on YouTube right now, or if you transition over to YouTube at some point today, tomorrow, this week, for our videos, hit our subscribe button. That's how you're going to get notifications. You will get live push notifications by clicking the subscribe button as long as you have your notifications turned on. Okay, it is really cool. Then you actually know, hey, they're going live right now. They're actually on live right now. That way you could you know, if you're wanting to watch it instead of tune it up through the app, that's up to you. Speaking of the app, the YouTube, there's a YouTube tile now. We have an update to our app. There's a YouTube tile where you can actually click that and you can watch it right through the app. It doesn't take you to any other app. You stay right in that app and you're able to watch it live right there, which is, again, a really, really cool thing. So you'll want to check that out if that's something that you prefer to do. But again, if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, just go to our YouTube channel. If you go into the search bar, type crossover space radio. Now here's my advice from there. If you're just searching for it, it won't come up in the top list of results because this is YouTube. I mean, it's going to pull up a bunch of videos, things like that. But there's a filter button in the upper right-hand corner, like underneath where like the top bar is. If you go into just a little bit below the top bar in the upper right, you will see a filter button. Click that and then click channels. There's a place where you can say view channels. Then we will be like the second or third one. Okay, it'll be really fast. Or you can go to our Facebook page. We have posted the link several times. It is actually pinned as the top post as well, that you can go to our channel and subscribe right from that link. So go click on that link. You'll need to confirm the subscription, or you'll need to click subscribe. That way you can subscribe to our YouTube channel, get all the updates whenever we're doing live stuff through YouTube and all that. We have a mission. We have a mission, okay? We have a mission. Here's the mission. We want to get to 100 subscriptions this week. We want to get to 100 subscriptions this week. Help us get there. Tell your friends, tell your family, say, hey, go to YouTube, subscribe to this channel, boom, you're done. You'll get our videos. They'll let you know, hey, we have new videos for you, all kinds of stuff. It is really, really good stuff. You'll want to definitely visit that. That way you can subscribe there and always have our updates. So again, subscribe to YouTube. We'd really appreciate that. All right, we're going to roll to a quick break. We'll be right back after these short messages from our sponsors.
City Life Community Church is the proud home of Crossover Radio. We are located at 6634 Northwest 36th Street, right here in the heart of Bethany. You can join us for worship at 11 a.m. each Sunday, and if you can't make it, you can hear us right here on Crossover Radio. You can also join us for worship and prayer each Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. City Life exists to glorify God by making disciples and doing good in Jesus' name. We are here for Bethany and for the Northwest Oklahoma City communities. We're excited about the opportunity to serve you and your family.
Would your business, organization, or ministry like to connect with our listeners? Crossover Radio is seeking amazing like-minded partnerships to impact our community. Crossover Radio has cheap and affordable sponsorship packages available now. Call us at 405-494-0234 so we can help connect you with thousands of listeners every week right here on Crossover Radio. Again, that number is 405-494-0234. Call us today.
Tired of taking up a seat in church or just watching a production? Join us Sunday at West Metro Community Church in Yukon, a place where your life matters and you are more than a number.
We are located at 601 West Main Street in Yukon, and our worship service is at 1045 on Sunday. For additional information on our student ministry, men's, women's, and mixed small group Bible studies throughout the week, find our information at www.westmetro.org.
Come be a part of a church where all are welcome.
Crossover Radio, radio with a purpose.
All right, this is 3rd&1 Live on your Monday morning drive. Back with you this morning. Got a stop by from Philip himself, from our PCR. Ryan and Philip's Conversation Rules. What's going on, Phil?
You know, just stopping by, grabbing some stuff that I forgot last night here at the studio. We had a special guest last night, our good friend Kevin DeShazo from Fieldhouse Media. He's all over the place, man. He's a preeminent social media expert. He has appeared in ESPN, Forbes, Sports Illustrated, USA Today, New York Times. Man, he is just, dude. He's a monster, man. He is absolutely incredible. So you gotta check him out. He just released his book, actually. Okay. It's called Leadership Interrupted, and so definitely need to check that out. It is on Amazon. That is the best way to get it, both in the Kindle version or the Dead Tree version. I personally prefer the Dead Tree version, although you usually have to pay a little bit more for that. But that's fine. More. That's fine. You know, I appreciate the aesthetics of holding the book, and so anyways, you know, in our excitement, left the iPad and a couple things here, and so just rolling by to grab that on my way into work, and saw that you're rolling solo today, man. Rolling solo. Did you catch any of the World Series game last night? So I had to bail basically after the 9th. I mean, it was like midnight. Really yeah, it was like midnight, and I was like, goodness gracious, I can't do this anymore. 5 hours. Bleacher Report will let me know what happened when I wake up, but. Dude, I mean, it was unreal. I mean, it was just really it was an incredible game. Lot of that ballpark is a weird place to manage. Yeah. You know, a couple of those seats where they were cranking them. Oh, in the Crawford boxes. Yes, yeah, exactly. And so it was. It is weird. It is a weird park in those areas. Like if you're sitting in those seats,
you are literally into the field.
Yeah.
Is a weird
No,
it's
so it's like 3:15 or something like that. The straightaway left. I mean, that's a pitching wedge, man. That's nothing. I mean, you're not even bringing out the driver for that guy. That's there's a couple home runs last night that if it was literally any other park, it's not even making it to the warning track.
No.
And so I mean, it's interesting. And I got into a Facebook debate, which always ends well. But
it always
yeah, but I mean, sports wise, so it's not that big of a deal. Yeah. But Jose Altuve is your AL MVP. I mean, I mean, there's
no one else that even compete.
And he's in the argument of being the best player in baseball.
Yeah. I mean, he is. He's a complete player.
Yeah, and I mean, and he's a grinder. It's really hard not to like Jose Altuve just because. I mean, first of all, he's about the size of my daughter. I mean, he's like 5'2" or something like that.
He is
short. Yeah, but I mean, he has a little bit of pop. I mean, he'll run into a couple every now and again. But I mean, just does not give away at bats. I mean, he hits for a high average. He has a good eye. Doesn't strike out a lot. Yep. He is a Tony Gwynn-like player.
Yeah, which is great to see in today's MLB. Because everything is home runs.
It's either the home run or strikeout. Yeah. I mean, you have
so bad.
People swinging out of their shoes. And speaking of that, so the play that I'll remember from last night is the George Springer sequence there in the late innings. So he tries to get the hero play, right? He tries to get on Sports Center and dive for that ball in center field and totally whiffs it. I mean, just absolutely. And it was a triple end up. I think the Dodgers
on the bag. Yeah.
No, the Dodgers end up taking the lead because of that. Yeah. And then another man. I think they tied it, and then that guy ended up getting driven in. And so the Astros, Springer's up with they're down 1 run, and is swinging out of his shoes on the very first pitch. If it wasn't for that plexiglass out there and left, man, that's headed to Dallas. I mean, he was not cheated, man. That was absolutely crushed. It was I mean, it was an incredible hit, and it's exactly that. He's like, dude, I'm swinging at this as hard. I'm swinging at this with my soul. All right, my soul is getting into this swing, and angels in the outfield are going to come and guide this and have it hit the train on the train tracks. I mean, just absolutely smoked it. So no, it's going to be interesting. So heading back to Los Angeles, it's a travel day today. I was thinking, I mean, not to make predictions, but I mean that was such a game that somebody's heart was going to get broken.
Yeah.
I think the Astros are going to take care of business.
Yeah, I mean, I'm nervous at this point. I had said Dodgers in 6 because of the way that the two teams were playing before they went into the World Series. The Dodgers were just smoking people on both sides.
Right.
Both pitching and on offense, they were killing it. And I thought, man, there's just no way. There's no way that they're going to be able to do it. And then as badly as the Dodgers have abused Dallas Keuchel, and I mean absolutely abused him in this World Series, and they're still down 3-2. If you're the Dodgers, you just go, what do we do?
It's their bullpen that's faltered on them, and everyone thought that the bullpen was going to be the strength, and so. But like I said, this has been a very odd, weird World Series. People are trying to put this into the pantheon of greatest World Series ever, or something like that. And I think there's a little bit of recency bias as far as that. I mean, that was a great game. But
the clutch hitting on both sides, as far as both teams, has been unbelievable. I mean, I've watched a lot of World Series.
Right.
I just can't remember in my lifetime, and this is what I said earlier, I can't remember in my lifetime this much clutch hitting. Boston Red Sox versus Yankees back in its heyday in the 04 to 08 range. There was some really good clutch hitting on for both the Yankees and for the Red Sox, but not this much.
I can think of 3 better World Series right now off the top of my head.
Okay.
That right now, I mean, granted, this one's not over yet. I mean, if it goes 7, and if there's, it kind of, if we have 2 more games like we had last night, then I reserve the right to revise and extend my remarks here. But I mean, that was a great game. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to take away from the game. Yeah. I mean, game 1 kind of went as expected. Game 2 was a home run fest, and so this has been the most dramatic game to this point. I mean, I think last year beats it so far. I mean, you have the Cubs coming down from 3-1, going into extras, a rainstorm to basically let Jason Hayward do the only thing that he did last year to earn his ridiculous contract and calm everyone down in the clubhouse. I mean, and then the weight of history on the Cubs. I think it
was cool. I'm not gonna say it wasn't cool. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you had the Indians bullpen, very much like last year. I mean, that was supposed to be lights out and faltered and gave up 3. Yeah, gave up the 3 games in a row. I'll be honest. I mean, yes, it's a little bit biased. I will give you that. I think the 2011 series was better. You had David Freese. The Cardinals down to their last strike twice in that game, and then David Freese hitting that homer to straightaway center, and then Joe Buck honoring his dad with the "We'll see you tomorrow night." I
don't want to talk about that series.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, well, I mean, I understand. I still have family that barely talks to me about baseball because of that series from Dallas. So,
I'm a Rangers fan.
Even the Madison Bumgarner series, when he comes out and basically he's the only pitcher that San Francisco trusts, and like he starts, he relieves, he had a 6-inning save or something like that. I mean, something ridiculous, and was just absolutely unhittable. Like I said, I mean, I'm not trying to take away from this series, but I think let's let this age in the bottle a little bit before we start putting it on the mantle. So
I mean, I get that. I do. I get that. I just, man, all the clutch hitting is what gets me. Now, if you're talking from a pitching perspective, by far, no, it is not the best series. But if you're talking from a hitting perspective, man, it is really. It is up there with some of the better ones out there. Now, the quality of pitchers in the series, I thought was going to be the strength of the series.
Sure,
in my opinion.
Yeah, you had Verlander, you have Keuchel, you have
Kershaw,
you got Rich Hill.
And then, of course, Darvish had been pitching really well.
Darvish had been, and he got lit up.
Oh my gosh, it's bad.
You have Kenley Jensen blows a save a couple nights ago. Which here's the thing is that there's one thing about this series, and like I said, this is just a really weird series to manage from AJ Hinch's and Dave Roberts' standpoint.
Yeah.
That's I think that's the thing that keeps me from saying that this is like the greatest World Series ever, or something like that, because it has not been managed well. I mean, Brandon Morrow had no business coming out last night. I mean, I used to pitch and say, "You give me the ball, I'm going to the bump," right?
Yeah.
But the manager has to be like, "Dude, I've used him like 12 of the 13 games in the playoffs." It was clear to God and everyone that Morrow was just absolutely spent. He had no business pitching in that game. They should have kept him. They should have. I mean, because it's tied at 2. You have at least 2 games. So you leave him be, because you're going to need him going back to Los Angeles. And now, I mean, you've burned up your bullpen, and I get it that you're trying to win that game, especially as looking at the statistics of a Game 5 tied at 2. Usually the winner of Game 5 usually wins the series, things like that.
Ask the Rangers.
Exactly. No, you guys won Game 5. Texas is up 3-2.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
they were up 3-2, and then they lost it.
Right. And so
that was my point. It's like, man, they were up.
They were up. Yeah, and then so.
I just remember. Oh gosh, I'm trying to remember. Washington. Washington had come out and he said, hey, we just got to win one of these next 2. It's like, don't start saying things like that.
Yeah, and Texas, that if I remember right, Texas that year, like they'd only lost 2 games in a row, like 3 times or something ridiculous.
I mean, it was a really good team.
It was an incredible team.
Yeah. They were bad.
Yeah,
they were bad. That last 2 games, they were just bad.
No, I mean, well, Game 6, you guys were up by
That's
4.
true.
I mean, and I mean,
The closing of Game 6.
yes. What was it? Who was it? Neftali Feliz was your closer at that point, and but I mean, once again, baseball. I think more than any other sport, the ball does funny things.
It does.
You know, Nelson Cruz extends out for that catch, you guys win. You know, any number of things happen, and you guys win. And I mean, honestly, I mean, it is one of those things where the best team doesn't always win. And so, no, I mean, it's so travel day today. So Game 6 tomorrow, and then potentially Game 7 on November 1st. And so we'll see. You know, we'll see what happens.
I think the Dodgers come out and they win. I really
think
do.
so?
I have a feeling they're going to come out, they're going to win, and it will go to a
So
Game
it's
7.
so it's Verlander and it's Alex Wood are your projected starters, I believe.
Yes.
Alex Wood, who took a no-hitter into the 6th, which was crazy to think, especially with this series.
Yes.
You know, I mean, Verlander. It's not the Justin Verlander of 5 years ago. I mean, I don't think anybody's getting that twisted, but he is he's a gamer. He's been there before. Well, he hasn't been to this stage before, but he's pitched in high leverage situations.
Yeah.
I mean,
he pitched in the World Series that the Tigers were a part of.
That's right, in 2006.
Yeah.
He
It was a long time ago.
Yeah.
He's really long in the tooth.
Yeah, 2006, the Cardinals won that one too.
Funny.
No, about all that. No, I mean, it's going to be a very interesting end of this series. This next game and then potentially the next 2 games will let me know whether or not this is the greatest World Series of all time, and so
that's fair.
And so there, like I said, there's just a lot of things that I'm holding back using that label because of recency bias, and I think it gets bantered about a little bit much. So
it definitely does a lot. But no, it's going to be really, really amazing to see what happens with the pitching. Last night was not the last time we will see Kershaw, in my opinion.
Right.
Even tomorrow night, if they get into a pinch, they will throw Kershaw out there.
Sure they will.
They just will. Now they're going to try to reserve him.
Yeah.
But if they have to, they will throw him out there.
Yeah. No, it's like go do your best Madison Bumgarner impression. He'll do it too. I mean, he's. I mean.
He has an iron arm. I mean, he just continues to throw and throw. They shouldn't have pulled him out so early in the first game, in my opinion. But you know what? He'd already pitched 7 strong, and they just wanted to reserve him.
Sure. And so, no, I absolutely agree. And Kershaw has to exercise some of these postseason demons a little bit because if Kershaw were to retire on November 5th, okay, hey, I'm done. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's not close. And he's still in his prime. I think he's still in his late 20s, if I remember right.
Yeah. It's close.
I mean, and that's beyond me because it seems like he's been in the league for about 8 or 9 years. So look at that, 29. Nailed
29.
It.
Nice.
So pitchers, especially of his caliber. I mean, he's a power pitcher, but he doesn't rely on his power.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a tactician, and so he's got another at least 4 more years of high impact, high quality pitching ahead of him, barring injury. I mean, the injury is obviously the great equalizer, but I mean, if nothing, I mean. He can push the summer sun up into at least another 5 years, a little, and still be that high quality pitcher. I mean, pitchers of his quality and his caliber, I mean, it's not unheard of for them to pitch into their late 30s. And so, but like I said, he could retire right now and be a first ballot Hall of Famer. But his ERA in the postseason is actually fairly pedestrian. It's in like the 4s and 5s, and that's not something you look at. As far as high quality, Hall of Fame pitchers of that caliber, And so all that being said is, and backing up what you just said, yeah, it is not just within the realm of possibility. It is likely that Clayton Kershaw, we will see him tomorrow, and then we might even see him again on Wednesday.
Yeah, no, I think it's definitely possible. Interesting thing with him, I'm curious to see if he plays in LA his whole life, because he's a Dallas native. I'm interested to see if he goes back at some point. Here's an interesting factoid I did not know about Kershaw, though. This is going to have some NFL relevance, which would be a perfect segue into my next segment, where we'll talk some NFL. He played at Highland Park High School.
Matthew Stafford was his, he was the
center
to Matthew Stafford's,
Matthew Stafford.
Yeah,
it's incredible.
Yeah, and Matthew, him and Stafford,
gosh.
like Stafford comes out to L.A. and he goes out to Detroit and stuff like that. Yeah, they're like best friends.
That is magical.
No,
he was playing center for him. That is great.
So, no, absolutely. So, and. This is a series, though. I mean, getting this much attention. I mean, we're in the middle of the NFL season. I mean, in fact, the very middle. I mean, everyone's played about 7 or 8 games. We're in the very beginning of a ramped up NBA season.
Yeah.
A lot of people is like, Major League Baseball is playing, kind of junior varsity as far as the national attention.
Yeah.
This is as someone who loves baseball, this is great for baseball.
It is great for baseball.
And so
they would have loved probably a Yankees series better.
Oh, sure they would. But I mean, because baseball is always better when the Yankees and Red Sox are relevant. I mean, it just is.
Yeah.
This is exactly what the doctor ordered for baseball. You have high drama, high leverage games. There are some people who are the dusty baseball purists who are going to say that this is bad for baseball. The football scores are not indicative of what baseball is. And I get that. And I just love baseball, just for the intricacies of it, and I enjoy a pitcher's duel as much as I enjoy a shootout. So no, I mean,
I'm the same way on that.
Hopefully baseball can continue kind of this rise, and because it feels like there's been a rekindling of baseball, especially with last year and the Cubs story bringing more attention to it, and people really appreciating this. It's a beautiful game. So so as a baseball fan, I will say that this is a good World Series for baseball.
Yeah, no, I agree with you on that. Well, hey, we're going to roll to a break real quick. You are listening to 3rd&1 live on your Monday morning drive.
Appreciate you guys letting me on. I got to go. I got to go do the job here. So.
All right, sounds good. That was a fail. All right, Phil. Well, hey, that was Phil. You can catch Phil on Ryan and Phil's Conversation Rules. That's right, every Sunday from 8 to 9. I got that time right, 8 to 9. Catch it from 8 to 9 every Sunday night, and they have really engaging political commentary and commentary on other current events as well. And you can catch them, again, every Sunday, 8 to 9. You need to check them out right here on Crossover Radio. We'll be right back after these short messages from our sponsors.
City Life Community Church is the proud home of Crossover Radio. We are located at 6634 Northwest 36th Street, right here in the heart of Bethany. You can join us for worship at 11 a.m. each Sunday, and if you can't make it, you can hear us right here on Crossover Radio. You can also join us for worship and prayer each Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. City Life exists to glorify God by making disciples and doing good in Jesus' name. We are here for Bethany and for the Northwest Oklahoma City communities. We're excited about the opportunity to serve you and your family.
Would your business, organization, or ministry like to connect with our listeners? Crossover Radio is seeking amazing like-minded partnerships to impact our community. Crossover Radio has cheap and affordable sponsorship packages available now. Call us at 405-494-0234 so we can help connect you with thousands of listeners every week right here on Crossover Radio. Again, that number is 405-494-0234. Call us today.
Tired of taking up a seat in church or just watching a production? Join us Sunday at West Metro Community Church in Yukon, a place where your life matters and you are more than a number.
We are located at 601 West Main Street in Yukon, and our worship service is at 1045 on Sunday. For additional information on our student ministry, men's, women's, and mixed small group Bible studies throughout the week, find our information at www.westmetro.org.
Come be a part of a church where all are welcome.
Crossover Radio, radio with a purpose.
All right, this is 3rd and 1 live on your Monday morning drive. That's right. 3rd and 1 live Monday morning drive. Right here on Crossover Radio, radio with a purpose. You'll want to continue staying tuned. We're going to be going over a number of different things regarding the NFL, regarding the wild NCAA weekend, and we're going to get to just a number of topics in this last segment. That's right. I did say the L word, last. I get it. I'm sorry. Hopefully you're not sad. But you know what? Enjoy the last segment here with me, and I think it'll help you have a good day today. Help you have a really good day today. So if you are on the app, when you are not driving, I would like for you to go to YouTube, go to our channel, Crossover Radio. Just search channels for Crossover Radio. Again, you can go to the filter button. Make sure you're filtering by just channels alone, and we'll be one of the top 2 or 3 that you'll find if you search the words Crossover and Radio. You will be able to subscribe right there to our channel. That way you can get live updates, and man, this is such a better setup. Really enjoyed Facebook and Facebook Live. Kind of feels like a breakup message right now. But really enjoyed Facebook Live. But man, just everything that YouTube Live is going to be able to offer both us and our listeners, it was a no-brainer. And so we're testing things out here on the show on 3rd and 1 and on Higher Tech on Wednesday morning. You will be getting your live content. If you want the video, you'll be getting it right from YouTube Live. You can download the app, YouTube. You can check us out there, or if you don't even want to mess with the YouTube app, you can just pull up our app, Crossover Radio app, in the App Store, in Google Play Store, or if you already got it, that's fantastic. If you don't got it, you need to download it. There is a tile in the, I believe, the upper left-hand corner that it says, YouTube. You just go to that. You'll see our live content whenever we're on. So yeah, you'll definitely want to check that out. All right, we are going to talk the NCAA Wild Weekend. We're going to talk the NFL a little bit, and it is going to be really, really good stuff. So if you have any thoughts on what happened with the 2 upsets, and I said 2, 1, 2, 2 upsets in the top, technically the top 5. You need to send your thoughts, your questions, your comments to us right now. You can send it on the text line 405-494-0234. Or if you're on the app, you just hit the text us button in the bottom left-hand corner. Oh, and by the way, the YouTube button is on the upper right-hand corner. It said upper left-hand. That is my fault. You can also just send a comment right on the YouTube Live feed. It is really, really good stuff and a lot of fun. And so definitely send your thoughts and questions and all of that right there. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about the NCAA first because, man, it was awesome. And then we'll talk a little bit of the NFL, some fantasy football talk. And I will give you my predictions for the Thunder game tonight, although you may not like it. I will give you my predictions for the Thunder game tonight. And, just got a crazy update. So Zach Miller, he is a good tight end in the NFL. Surgeons are trying to save Bears tight end Zach Miller's leg after dislocating knee. Wow. Again, surgeons are trying to save Bears tight end Zach Miller, his leg, after dislocating his knee last night. Wow. That is crazy. I hope they can. That's brutal. Wow, I didn't know it was that bad. But man, that is bad deal. So definitely our prayers and thoughts go out to him. Hope everything is taken care of and that he definitely gets better. I definitely want to go ahead and talk the NCAA though. Sorry, that was just a crazy update. That was live right here, and I had to address that. All right, let's do this. I'm going to recap some of the NCAA games, especially the ones that we were picking and that we were on opposite sides of. I do know this. Ohio State did win it, although I was nervous. If that prediction would come true because it was not looking good there for a little while. It was not looking good. But they pulled it off. Ohio State pulls it off in the last few minutes. They had to score 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter in order to do it. But they did it. They accomplished their goal. They beat the Penn State Nittany Lions, and now the Lions have a loss on their ledger. It's bad for them. But Ohio State wins 39-38. They scored. I thought it was 3 touchdowns, but they only scored 19 points. But still, man, that is a crazy game. All right, here is your new top 10 after the loss by Penn State, after the loss by TCU, and after the wins by Oklahoma State, and others. Here's your top 10. Number 1, Alabama. No argument. Number 2, Georgia. No argument. Number 3, Ohio State. I'm not 100% on this one at being number 3. But you know what? They beat a really, really good team. A really, really, really good team. Number 4, Wisconsin. Undefeated Wisconsin, by the way. That's going to be interesting to see what happens between they and Ohio State and Penn State throughout the rest of the season. Number 5, Notre Dame. Give me a break. Number 6, Clemson. Yep, makes sense. Number 7, Penn State. Makes sense. Number 8, Oklahoma. Makes sense. Number 9, Miami of Florida. Makes sense. And number 10, TCU. Doesn't make sense. Because number 11 is Oklahoma State. And you would say, well, wait, hold on. TCU beat Oklahoma State. We know who was better. There is a side of that I agree with. But you know what? OU beat Ohio State. And you know what? As an OU fan, I look at that and I say, you know what? That's right. Because Ohio State has done more, and who they lost to was way better than the team that Oklahoma lost to. Now, if we're looking at the Oklahoma State situation, Oklahoma State, they have decent wins to this point in the season. But their loss was only to TCU. TCU lost to Iowa State, which, by the way, is looking better and better every week right now. Iowa State is number 14. Here's my prediction. Iowa State won't crack the top 10. However, I think they get as high as number 11 or number 12. And it is going to be a wild end to the Big 12 season. I cannot hardly believe what Iowa State right now is doing to the Big 12 offenses. Their defense is filthy. I mean, just absolutely filthy. And they actually have West Virginia this week at West Virginia. And then they get Oklahoma State at home. And then they close the year Baylor, at Kansas State. I think the only one standing between Iowa State and a Big 12 championship game is Oklahoma State. That's it. I don't think West Virginia is winning. They only have a pretty good defense, and they only have a good offense. But Iowa State right now is just playing out of their minds. Listen to who they've beat, okay? Just listen to who they've beat. Oklahoma, Texas Tech, TCU. Those are really solid wins. Now, they beat some other ones that were bad teams, and they've lost to teams that they probably shouldn't have. Iowa, they lost to barely, 44-41. And then they lost to Texas 17-7. That was a Texas team, though, that I felt like was actually playing for something at that point. But ever since Texas, win. And 3 of the 4 teams that they've won in this 4-game win streak have been Oklahoma, Texas Tech, and TCU. I am excited to see what happens with Iowa State. I'm an OU fan, but I love what's going on with Iowa State. This is awesome. It is just a lot of fun. I'm kind of rooting for them to at least make it to the Big 12 championship game. I don't want it to cost the Sooners, and I don't want it to cost the Cowboys, blah, 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 blah. But I kind of want them to get in. I want them to get into the Big 12 game. This is just a magical story. It is. It's almost like a fairy tale story. It's almost unreal. This is incredible what Iowa State is doing right now. Iowa State is really looking good, and it's exciting. Here's the other thing to kind of keep an eye out for, okay? The rest of the college football weekend was just kind of ho-hum. Georgia destroys Florida 42-7. Florida State flounders still. They're 2-5. Boston College beat them 35-3. Now, it was at Boston College, but still. Memphis won 56-26 over Tulane. Memphis is number 24. I bet they went up in the rankings. Memphis is number 22 now. That's fair. But, man, this is really, really good stuff. Really, really good stuff. UCF is still unbeaten. That's cool for them. OU beat Texas Tech 49-27 in a game where OU, after the first quarter, came out and said, we're done. We're done with this. The defense came out and said, we're done with this. Mike Stoops made the right adjustments. I was giving him a lot of flack in the first quarter. But I will say this. Whatever he did to get his team back to a place where they're playing well on defense against a Texas Tech offense that was good. It was good. He did very well. You just forget that first quarter, and, man, they shut him down. They shut him down really well. That was really, really good play by the defense after the first quarter. The offense did what they do. Baker Mayfield, what else can you say about the guy? I mean, here were his numbers, okay? Here were Baker Mayfield's. It's almost like Baker Fields, which would be ironic if he was like related to Mrs. Fields, because Mrs. Fields does baked goods, you know, Baker Fields. That actually kind of makes sense. Anyways, sorry. Baker Mayfield's numbers. You just got to listen to this, okay? I'll get to his passing numbers here in just a second. His rushing numbers, 6 for 20 and 1 touchdown on the ground. His passing numbers, 22 of 34. good, not great average, but good. Just a little under 66%. In fact, I think it'll be about 63% on that. Really, really good numbers. Is actually just under 65%. 64.7. Basically 64.7%. He had one interception. Okay, he got a little bit too aggressive with the pass. He tried to force it against double coverage to Mark Andrews, I believe, if I remember right. And it was just not a great decision. But still, overall, 281 yards, 4 touchdowns through the air. Really, really good numbers. Now, it wasn't a 400-yard performance, but they were really good numbers. He became the 4th leading quarterback in Big 12 history for passing yards thrown. That is really, really good stuff. CeeDee Lamb, man, dude showed up. 9 receptions, 147 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Mark Andrews, 6 receptions, 79 yards, 1 touchdown. Marquise Brown, 5 receptions, 49 yards, 1 touchdown. Everyone else combined for 2 receptions, 6 yards. And that was Marcellus Sutton and Jordan Smallwood. Both of them had 1 reception for 3 yards each. But, man, it was a really, really good game. You know who else had a really good game? Rodney Anderson ran like a man. 24 rushing attempts, 181 yards, 1 touchdown. I think this is what the coaches were hoping and maybe expecting, but definitely hoping to see out of Rodney Anderson. Back-to-back games, he has like 320 some odd, 330 some odd yards rushing in back-to-back in 2 games combined. Abdul Adams, 10 rushes, 95 yards. This is awesome. Just awesome. Marcellus Sutton, 1 for 8. Dimitri Flowers, 3 for 12, and he had a touchdown. Dimitri Flowers, still just the guy who gets the yard that you need very often. Badette had it was a sweep. It was actually a reverse, if I remember right. It was 1 rush for 24 yards, and of course I already said Baker Mayfield, 6 for 20, 1 touchdown. So Baker Mayfield's day, 281 passing yards, 20 rushing yards, 5 total touchdowns, 1 interception. Tell me who's better. I know that Saquon had a really good week still, but his team lost. Kind of puts a bad taste in your mouth when you lose. So I kind of feel bad for him. Actually, he did not have a good week. I'm sorry. I misspoke. He did not have a good week. Now, he did have a good week for kick returns. Two kick returns, 105 yards total. And that was, I believe, if I got this right. Yep, he ran at 97 yards for a touchdown. The very first, the opening kickoff. Which was cool. And you're like, oh, man, he's going to have a big week. The rest of his day was not good. 21 attempts for 44 yards, 1 touchdown. And then for receptions, 4 receptions, 23 yards. Very, very poor overall. Very poor. So, in fact, Trace McSorley had better numbers. Anyways, that was an interesting one for sure. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that deserves some notes. Oklahoma State rolled up West Virginia, and Oklahoma State finished it 50-39. It was a bit of a shootout. At the half, they were up 23-10, and then in the third quarter, West Virginia made things interesting, outscoring them 14-7, and so you were then at 30-24. And then in the fourth quarter, OSU does pretty much what OSU does. and posted 20 points to West Virginia's 15. 50-39. That's your score. It was an interesting game. Notre Dame thrashed NC State. I was so wrong on that game. So wrong on that game. And I believe Dustin picked the other side. I was really hoping that NC State would beat them, but they didn't. UCLA lost big to Washington. I was wrong about Houston beating South Florida. I was sorry. I was wrong about South Florida beating Houston. Sorry. I was on the side of South Florida. I believe our friend Dustin, which by the way, I haven't mentioned, you need to be in prayer for Dustin. He actually is sick today, and that's why he is out, in case you're wondering. If you're like, hey, why have you not said anything about Dustin? Is he like gone? Is he missing? Did you do something to Dustin? No, it's okay. He's just sick. So it's not fully okay. Please pray for him. But overall, he's fine. He'll be all right. He's just weak. He's just weak. That's all I got to say. I'll tell that to him in his face. He's just weak. But you also had Arkansas winning 38-37, posting 10 points to Mississippi's 6 in the fourth quarter. 38-37, Arkansas gets to a third win. We were talking about that game last week. We did not think that Arkansas would do it, and then Arkansas did it. Thank you, Arkansas, for not winning on the week that I pick you. But that's okay. Man, Texas totally destroyed Baylor. And just destroyed him, 38-7. It was a beatdown for sure. I thought Baylor was going to win that game, and they didn't. So it's just kind of how it goes. Just how it goes. Let's see here. Any other games? Let's see. Oh, Northwestern beats Michigan State. That was good. That was really good. Why is this not working? Sorry, my computer is not working for me right now. USC beat up on Arizona State. That was another one I thought could go a different way, and it did not. Kansas State beats Kansas 30-20. Not a great way to win that game, but they won. It happens. So anyways, it was a really interesting week. It was a really interesting weekend of sports. It was, NFL. Here's about the only thing I can say about the NFL. Here's the only thing I'm going to say about the NFL scores this weekend. For one, Bills beat the Raiders. That's a good quality win. Pretty much everything else went as expected. The Cowboys-Redskins game was a good game. And tonight we have the Broncos at the Kansas City Chiefs. That will be a decent game. Broncos still just needing a quarterback. Not good right now. And I was a believer in Simeon, and he is not panning out. Cowboys beat the Redskins, though, yesterday. I said last night. They beat them yesterday, 33-19. Steelers beat the Lions in Sunday Night Football, 20-15. And, man, the Texans-Seahawks game, if you don't think Deshaun Watson is the real deal, you aren't paying attention. Deshaun Watson is beating people with his arm. Now, they did lose 38-41, but man, Deshaun Watson is the real deal. He threw it 3 times, interception. I get it, and that could be attributed to, hey, they lost because of this. But he is a rookie, and he is tossing it on a defense that is not always easy to toss it against. And they almost won that game. Man, I think he's going to be a pretty special player, and it's going to be exciting to see what happens. Scored 43 points in fantasy for me this week. That was really helpful. So that was good stuff. Anything else that was of note? Eagles won. Yeah, Falcons won. Saints won. Bengals barely beat the Colts, 24-23. Vikings won against the Browns, 33-16. Yeah, pretty much. Panthers won 17-3 against the Bucks. It was just a weekend. That was it for the NFL. It was just a weekend. All right, last thing. Going to give you a recap for tonight's Thunder game. So if you have any interest at all in that, and you think, hey, I think that that the Thunder are going to win by blah, 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 blah. I think the Thunder will lose by blah, 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 blah. You need to go on to our YouTube live video. You need to vote on the poll right now. You need to vote on it. We'd love to hear your thoughts on that and so much more. But I'm going to, right before we cue out here, I'm going to put on some music. Is that the music I want? Here we go. Here we go. All right, here's what we're going to do. Thunder score prediction tonight. You know, initially, earlier this morning, and even earlier, just a few minutes ago, I was saying, you're not going to like my prediction. But my gut feeling feels a little bit better. Maybe it was just something I ate this morning. I don't know. But I'm feeling a little better about the chances. I'm going to say Thunder win by less than 5 tonight. Less than 5 at the Milwaukee Bucks. So if you want, hold me to it. Tell me about it on Friday. You can catch us on Friday. That's right, Friday. Every Monday and Friday morning, 7 to 8:30. Catch us live. And my co-host, I believe, will probably be with me on Friday. And we will be happy to talk more sports with you. The World Series will draw to a close. We'll know who is the champion. And we'll go from there. All right, thank you so much for joining me this morning on 3rd and 1 Live this morning on your Monday morning drive. Thank you so much for everything and for all of your support of the station. Thank you to all of our sponsors. We really appreciate it. And, man, it'll be fun getting back to you on some more sports this Friday. Y'all have a great, wonderful day. God bless you. May he keep you. May he make his face to shine upon you. Have a great day.